We all know the importance of movement. There are so many workouts, sports, gym membership options available to anyone, but given all that abundance, eventually, just like having too many sweets with added sugar trains our palate to find a humble apple, to blend too many intricate workouts and wellness plans and exciting gym promotions trains our body and mind to find humble everyday activities too bland and boring too. And in this video, I want to talk about one of such activities that is not only extremely beneficial for physical health at any age and in any conditions, but also is a wonderful and free source of joy and purpose, something that we often lack in our everyday life. I will share some unobvious benefits and personal insights, and also will give some tips on how to be consistent with this activity, which is walking. Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard was a huge proponent of walking. Above all, do not lose your desire to walk. Every day I walk myself into a state of well-being and walk away from every illness. I have walked myself into my best thoughts, and I know of no thought so burdensome that one cannot walk away from it. Unfortunately, with the rise of productivity bros and the overall culture of social success, we are forced to live fast, to move from point A to point B in no time without even noticing the process. We have cars, buses, trains, scooters, weird one-wheel things, bikes too, and walking looks outdated and old-fashioned in a way. Because indeed, why walk, especially in the urban, dusty environment, if you can move faster and more comfortably? There are tons of videos and articles about the amazing physical benefits of walking, while in this video I will focus on the emotional and mental side of this activity. Walking can fight off bad feelings. It promotes good changes in the brain, including neural growth and new activity patterns that bring the feeling of calm and well-being. Walking can also serve as a distraction, providing quiet time to break free from a negative thought cycle. If you're more a restless and anxious type of a person, meditative walking can be a thing to try. Seated meditation is not for everyone. For example, I often cannot just sit down and observe my thoughts and thus calm down my mind. I often need to move and to use my body as a tool rather than an obstacle. And here's where I want to say thank you to the lovely sponsor of this part of the video, Aura, that often becomes a very great companion on my walks, especially when I need some extra comfort and purpose. Aura is an all-in-one app for well-being and sleep. It has thousands of meditations, stories, and so much more, like CBT, life coaching, breathwork, and spirituality. The content is extremely varied and personalized and is created by hundreds of expert coaches and professional therapists around the world. I am always sure that I will find the tracks and the guides that I personally love. On my walks, I enjoy listening to special walking meditations that are so many of there. The recent one is by Julie Elbrecht. She shares that she learned this type of walking meditation during her stay at a Buddhist monastery. It's a very calming experience that helps focus on the process of walking. Aura is not only about audio. You get access to so many daily live sessions where you can also interact with an actual community at the same time or have one-on-one sessions. Aura helps make doable steps towards a calmer and more grounded living. Steps figuratively and literally while you walk. If you feel like trying to incorporate more mindful practices into your daily routines, right now you can get started for completely free on Aura's website using my special link in the description. Only the first 500 people will get free trial and exclusive 25% off. Thank you, Aura, for being a wonderful friend of the channel, and we are moving to the next benefit of walking, the unobvious one. Walking expands space and time and the overall experience of being in this world. The average adult speed of walking is about 3 miles or 4.8 kilometers an hour. And that's why when you walk, you naturally begin to notice and to experience much more than you would if you were in a car, on a bus, or even riding a bike. You use your human senses more, and thus your inner world expands too. Our personalities are formed by our experiences, so why not making these surroundings our own by walking through them? I have troubles with orienting in space. I often confuse left and right and can get lost very easy. That's why walking is my way of coping with stress of being in a new place. I learned to be more attentive and remember the tiniest details that help me find a way back. Walking boosts creativity. I talk a lot about creativity on this channel because I think it's a very precious human skill that unfortunately now begins to be taken over by technologies. And with time, the value of human creativity will just grow. Stanford researchers found that walking boosts creative inspiration. They examined creativity levels of people while they walked versus while they sat. A person's creative output increased by an average of 60% when walking. This activity had a strong influence on the expression of associative memory. People presented more ideas, and the ideas tapped each person's unique associative network, which led to an increase in novelty compared with other people's ideas. Walking promotes self-exploration. If you're an introvert or a highly sensitive person, you maybe already know this. Author and philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau said that walking returned him to his original self. These hours of solitude and meditation while walking are the only ones in the day when I'm completely myself and my own master, with nothing to distract or hinder me. The only ones when I can truly say that I am what nature meant me to be. We all have different life circumstances, and it's often very alluring to reduce the walking time to a minimum because we hurry, or the weather is bad, or we just don't feel like it. And here are some very easy and actionable tips how to walk more consistently. Take the stairs. Yeah, if you're living in an apartment building, try to ignore the elevator more. At the moment, Brian and I are living on the 5th floor, and we actually pay for our elevator every month separately from all other bills. And when you pay for something, it's quite naturally that you want to use that service. But we prefer to walk upstairs and downstairs more. And if we have groceries, this walking turns into quite a blast of a workout. prevent boredom, experiment with walking. Take new paths and never presuppose that this or that way would be too boring. If you keep in mind that walking is never a waste of time, you will never be disappointed with a route. If you have a work and meeting schedule, why not having a walking one as well? This will hold you accountable and will help introduce more structure into your daily routines. My father, who is my major walking inspiration, had a very strict walking schedule throughout his whole life, even when his health declined drastically and it was very challenging for him to do a lot of steps during the day, but he still tried. And this is the example that I try to follow now. Listen to something when you walk. It can be really fun to combine two activities in one. During my walking, I often listen to audiobooks and meditations and podcasts or some voice messages that my cousin sends me, and sometimes I even chat with my brother. There are so many activities that can be seamlessly woven in your walking routines. If you have the physical ability to walk, try to use it more often. It's a gift that cannot be wasted. While the modern world operates in a seated position mostly, while we are convinced to stay inside our homes, offices, gyms, it's time to go out and just walk and see what happens. Feel free to share in the comments your thoughts and experiences about walking. Thank you so much for your time and attention, dear friends, and huge thanks to everyone who supports my work on Patreon and other tipping platforms, because thanks to you, this channel exists. And for now, as always, be safe and keep your heart open, and I will see you soon. Пока-пока!